Hi, Michael. Welcome to this new format. This new format is going to are going to be videos of about 15 minutes, not more than 15 minutes or a bit more maybe. And we're going to address some questions that people have and some questions that you might be asked to talk about, Michael, in your website, in your blog, whatever. So let's start with the first question, Michael.
Yes.
The first question is, why can you help us in our spiritual path by doing it under the proper guidance and orientation of a teacher who has studied these teachings in depth and their practical application more than by reading them individually and alone?
On this path, we are each on our own. We have to understand the teachings on our own, and we have to put them into practice on our own. The real guidance that we require is what is coming from within, and of course, Bhagavan's teachings externally. However, Bhagavan's teachings, though they are extremely simple, they are very deep and subtle. And also, many people have difficulty in understanding them because of their simplicity, because we come with so many preconceptions and deeply rooted beliefs. Unless we are willing to give up our former beliefs, it's very difficult to appreciate and to fully imbibe the simplicity and clarity of what Bhagavan has taught us. Most of the studying, but we have to do on our own. We have to read on our own. We have to think about it on our own. However, as with any subject, discussing with people who are also on the same path, it can help us a lot to see things from different perspectives. Though I have been studying Bhagavan's teachings for more than 40 years now, I feel my understanding is, I wouldn't say I'm learning more, because it's not about gathering more information, but my understanding is growing deeper as time goes on. And I find I'm helped by having discussions with people, because when people ask me questions, they're asking from different perspectives, and it makes me think about the teaching from different angles. That, for me, is beneficial. And I think for most of us, having some sort of interaction with others who have a similar type of interest in this path can certainly help us. And if we have interaction with someone who has been studying and practicing these teachings for longer, they may have they may be able to help us in some way to deepen our own understanding, and maybe to correct us when we are understanding things incorrectly. But
for example, just one thing, Michael, for someone who is new to these teachings,
yes,
and that comes for the first time to read some of the books written by Bhagavan himself or by someone else about Bhagavan, maybe don't you think that it might be, is there any advice as to how to start from once you get in contact with the teachings for the first time? Because you might come from another different teaching, and you might apply those things that you heard maybe into this new teaching, and maybe
yes. I mean, I think it can certainly be beneficial to discuss with others, but at the same time, we ultimately are each we each understand things according to our own. Bhagavan once said, when someone had written a very distorted commentary on his teachings, and another devotee said, Bhagavan, if this is published by your ashram in your lifetime, won't people in future think you have agreed with this? Bhagavan said, according to the purity of the mind, the same teaching reflects in different ways. If you think you can write a better commentary, you can write your own commentary. So we each understand these teachings according to the degree to which our mind is purified. Purified means to the degree to which we are free of desires and attachments. So if we discuss with fellow devotees, we should discuss with discrimination. We shouldn't just blindly accept whatever explanations are given by anyone. We each have to think about it ourselves, and we have to make sense of the teachings ourselves. Interacting with others can help, but we shouldn't rely only on what others say. We have to. It is said that there's the spiritual path is said to be there's said to be three, not stages because they repeat themselves, but three aspects to this path. One is Sravana. Sravana literally means hearing, but in practice it means reading the teachings, hearing, studying the teachings. The next is Manana. Manana means thinking about them. Because when we first read the teachings, these are very new ideas. It takes time for us to assimilate them, and it takes time for us to understand all the logical connections between different aspects of the teachings, and also a lot of what Bhagavan taught. There's a lot of implied meaning in what Bhagavan taught us. So it's not just taking the words at the surface. We've got to think about them and understand the implications of the words. So this process of thinking about the teachings and assimilating them, this is called manana. And then the third and the most important stage is practice. But it's not that we do one, then the other, then the other. These three go on all the time. That is, we read, we understand a little, think about it, try to put it into practice. We come across difficulties with our practice, we go back and read some more. Because of the practice we've done, we come back with with more experience and understanding. And so constantly our understanding is getting deeper and deeper as we go deeper into the practice.
Sorry, Michael, to cut you off, but maybe don't you think that another risk that could come with the topic we're talking about, it might be that taking anything on blind faith and just be delivered, that the answers be delivered to us without us making the effort to understand. I mean, in a sense, don't you think that we have to make the teaching ours?
Yeah, absolutely.
A process, and nobody can see that.
Absolutely. But Bhagavan never asked us to believe his teachings blindly. He not only gave us teachings, he explained the reasons for the teachings. He explained to us why it is reasonable to believe what he is teaching us. So we each have to understand it for ourselves. Merely believing it is not going to take us very far. We have to understand it very deeply. It's a very deep and subtle subject, this subject. And merely blindly believing, but Bhagavan often used to say, do not believe what you do not know. This is the path of knowledge. That is the path of discrimination. Discrimination in the sense of we have to use our intellect. We have to reason. We have to judge what is correct, what is wrong, and so it's our understanding is very necessary. It's not that we need a super intellect like for scientists or philosophers. Actually, these teachings are very simple. We understand, people with a very simple mind can understand this teaching often better than people with many, many ideas in their head. Bhagavan often used to say, on this path, it's not so much a matter of learning as of unlearning. We have got to, Bhagavan gives us an extremely simple view of, and that he analyzes our experience down into the basic he analyzes it in an extremely simple manner. In waking and dream, we are there as the perceiver, and we perceive many phenomena. So we've got a subject and an object. Whenever the subject is ego. As ego, we are always aware of ourselves as a person, as a body. A body means not just the physical form, but everything that makes up the body, the life, the mind, the intellect, the will, but this whole package that makes a person. We experience this as ourself. Only when we experience ourselves as a person do we experience other phenomena. Bhagavan says our present state is a dream. Any state in which we experience phenomena is a dream. In a dream, you've basically got two things. You've got the dreamer and everything that is dreamed, the subject and the object, the perceiver and the perceived. That's all our experience actually boils down to. So Bhagavan says the basis of all perception, all experience of phenomena is the experiencer, the perceiver. So he makes it very, very simple. So he doesn't give room for us. We believe so many things, that this world existed before we saw it, before we were born, and there's history and there's science and there's so many things that we don't know. We think we gather knowledge from outside. Bhagavan said, the more knowledge you gather, that is just increasing your ignorance. Knowing many things is ignorance.
So we should find a balance between not getting carried away by the limitations of our own ego and misinterpreting things down to a level.
Yeah.
Certainly, that's a problem we can face.
Well,
and also, but at the same time, trusting our inner guru.
Yes. What is most important is that we put this into practice, because the more we put it into practice, the practice means turning our attention within towards ourselves. The nature of ego is to rise by being aware of things other than itself, and to subside when it tries to attend to itself, because ego has no substance, it has no form of its own. So when it turns towards itself, it dissolves and it subsides and disappears. So if we are truly following this path, if we are truly making this effort to turn within, we can't go far wrong. We may often fail in our attempt to turn within, but that failure is all part of the path. We're not going to fall into a trap of becoming egotistical. Oh, I've understood this, I can teach others. Those who think they can teach others are not truly following the path.
Containing the bag, yeah. But talking about your experience, you were with Sadhu Wang for 8 years, if I remember right.
Yes.
You were in India for many years too.
Yes.
So do you think that without the guidelines, the explanation, all the conversations you had with him, don't you think that you would have been, it would have been a hindrance to do it on your own? Maybe it would have taken maybe a longer time to understand things the way you do it now.
Definitely. I was very fortunate that I was with Sadhguru for those 8 years, because I don't think I would have understood the teachings, and I don't think I would have had the same depth of love for Bhagavan that I have if it hadn't been for that interaction with Sadhguru. But Bhagavan knows what we each need, and he has pre-planned our life in the way that will be most beneficial for us. So just because, I was fortunate to be with Sadhguru, but if others weren't with Sadhguru, it means that's not necessary for them. The help will come in some other way. I feel when I'm discussing with Bhagavan's teachings with friends, I am passing on, as it were, some of the benefit that I got from being with Sadhguru. And Sadhguru is now 35 years since Sadhguru left his body, but I still feel his influence in my life. That is, I feel my understanding of I feel like when I was with him, it was like a seed was sown in my heart. That seed is still bearing fruit. My understanding is getting deeper and deeper and deeper. So, I mean, he had a tremendous influence on my life. But it's that was what was necessary for me. So Bhagavan gave me that. Bhagavan knows what we each need, and he gives us what is beneficial for each one of us.
There is a quote, I think it's an anonymous one, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. It says that when the disciple is ready, the master will appear or something.
Yes,
Like
yes,
that.
yes. Well,
How to, and we can finish with this question. How would you think? How can we recognize that the master has appeared, or that through a book, through a person, through a school, through in whatever way it might appear in our life?
If we are following Bhagavan's path, he is the master, he is the guru. I don't, though I was tremendously benefited by my association with Sadhu Om, he never considered himself to be a guru, and he never wanted anyone to consider him to be a guru. So my guru is Bhagavan, not Sadhu Om. But Sadhu Om is like an elder brother, a fellow devotee of Bhagavan who helped me tremendously on the path. But guru means, for me, guru means only Bhagavan. And it's not necessary to be physically in the presence of guru. Bhagavan lives on through his teachings, and he's ever living in the heart of each one of us as I. So if we're following Bhagavan's path, we don't need any guru other than Bhagavan. But that doesn't mean that if we meet fellow devotees and if they've got a better or deeper understanding of Bhagavan's teachings than we have, we may be benefited by that. But the guru is only Bhagavan, because he's the source, he's the original source of all clarity. Sadhu Om used to say, if we rise as ego to guide people, we are it's like someone standing between standing in front of the sunlight. The sunlight of Bhagavan's grace and guidance is always there. If we want to guide others, the best thing is to subside. If we subside, then Bhagavan's light will shine through. So why I was able to get so much benefit from my association with Sadhu Om, because he was so subsided. He had surrendered himself completely to Bhagavan. So there was no Sadhu Om.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for your answers, and I hope it will be of help to the people that are watching this video. Thank you very much.